Ed from Pinball Mayhem here, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own plastics for your homebrew game. So if you have all these plastics all over here, you need to make them. You need to make them out of something, just a prototype. They don't need to be laser cut, especially. You don't need to send out, you don't need to CAD them. This is a quick and easy way, not too expensive, and gives you plenty of spare material. This also works if you have to make a plastic for a game that's missing one. So I had a game that had this slingshot but not that. So I traced the plastic, cut it out, made this one, and then I just took the art, flipped it in a photo program. Now I had both sides. The art could be attached to the back by spray glue, printing on a laser printer. It's not the darkest, best print, but it's better than nothing. So let's show you how you would make this plastic. This is a fairly straightforward one. There's some more complicated ones here. There's trial and error, and the best thing is it doesn't cost you anything to make templates. So how are we going to start? You need a few things. I got scissors, I got a pencil, I got cardboard. Now this is from a cereal box. Best stuff to use because it's nice and thin, not normally bent too much. You can cut it in big square panel. Masking tape, and I got a straight edge. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this plastic here. First thing I'm going to do is I can actually just put it on top of that and just kind of press down. I got the two divots where holes were, so I'm going to mark those. And next thing I'm going to do is, okay, well, I know I want a relatively round circle. This is where having a fender washer comes in hand. You can use washers, you can freehand it. I'm going to start with just putting fender washers down. And let's do a circle. Okay, so put that back on where I started. That was about there. So I know there's going to be another point back here. Actually, this is a good time to cheat. So you can drill those holes out with a just a drill bit, put on a block of wood that's solid, not one with a hole. You can drill it out with just an 1/8 or 32 inch. If you happen to be lucky enough to have an old leather punch laying around, give it a good twist. Now, we have a good start. Not a necessary tool, but a nice one nevertheless. Some people like the, okay, so now I can feel, you can actually see it. I just put it right there where that third bolt is. Let's transfer that. Not rocket science, but let's go with what I started, just using this radius. Alright, let me draw a circle. And this is where the straight edge comes in. This is going to give us a plastic that's too big. You can always go both ways, but this is just a start of our template. Well, that's what I got. Let me cut that out. Now we're making a template, not the final version, so don't sweat it. Alright, I'm done with this for now. So, got a first version of a template. Put that on. It fits pretty good. Now, let's look at what I ended up eventually. You can see, a few little adjustments, but that would be a good start. Now, one thing, I like to be a little closer here on the rubber. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball it tighter. Now, what if I was cutting this and crap, I just screwed up my template. That's where the masking tape comes in. This is just a template. If it was a final plastic, it'd be a problem. But this is not. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the piece of masking tape, put it over. You can fold it, stick it to itself. Now you just built up your template again. So then just recut And there you go. Now we got our template back again. Check fit. One good thing about the slingshots is once you get the shape that you want, you can then, you know, just have to take it, flip it over, check it for fit. You may have to drill one hole bigger than the other, but now you pretty much got the first two templates made. The material we're going to cut these out of is polycarbonate sheet. It is 1/16 thick. Now this is a TNA plastic right here. You can see it's about the same thickness. So that when you order it, it's 1/16. This is very strong, malleable, cuttable with scissors. I would actually recommend, if you are going to cut it with scissors, to use a heavier duty set. I just picked these up. It's the first time trying them. So this, you can cut this with scissors very easily. It's going to be a little hard to get complex shapes, and you're going to want to file that off. But just showing you that this is a brand new heavy duty set of Milwaukee shears, shop shears, metal all the way through. I could feel the plastic flexing on that pair. But in a pinch, that's going to get you by. I like to actually take this and bandsaw it. So I got some other videos of me working on this and still. So this is the plastic, and this is what I'm going to make. This is, once again, about the same thickness. This is off a friend's game. He asked me to make it. So what I did is put it on top. First thing I did is I did just a kind of a rough tracing, cut a chunk out. Then I did a finer tooth tracing and cut it with a bandsaw. You can use a jigsaw. You can use scissors. Next step is I took it over to the belt sander. It's a stationary belt sander, but you could always use a handheld, a smaller one, and hold it in one hand and be careful. You use the straight edges to sand the edges straight. When you have a slight inside corner, that's where you're going to have to use the end, the roll. And sometimes even better if it's tighter, like in here, you're going to have to use a Dremel. And the last thing we're going to do is not trust any of our marks, bring it back here. And I don't need that template anymore. I'm pretty happy with that. This is where a different color pencil comes in handy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to line this back up to where I want it. Actually, let's move over to the bench. It's going to be a little bit easier to work there. So hold on, please, and we'll move over to the bench. Alright, we're back on the bench. So this is the one that I made in the shop with a multiple saws and a sander. So what I'm going to do is, because I marked everything before I cut it, I actually realized after the fact I don't really like marking the holes. One thing to keep in mind, you're never going to be perfect. Unless I had one of these to compare, no one will know. So I'm going to use a different color pencil. So yeah, just don't kill yourself trying to be perfect. And if you have a game, you can constantly test fit. The game is not here. I don't think that's drawing. It's unfortunate. It's drawing on the backing, so when you would peel that off, it'd be clear. Let's see what we got. Got something to go with. So I'm going to take all these and I'm going to use my 1/8 inch drill bit. Now, because it's not plexiglass, it's not going to shatter on you when you're drilling. When you're drilling plexiglass, you have to go sharp bit and fast. Polycarbonate is what they make machine guards out of. It's one of the ingredients in bulletproof glass. Of course, stacked with other stuff. Okay, need to drill these holes. Got all this second to last one. I'm going to let my buddy finish it up from there. That way, if he has to do any filing, or last minute fitment, he can do it. There we go. Only thing left to do is to cut that. Sometimes having a little saw handy is it's a good idea. This is a little Exacto Saw. I don't have a handle for it because I don't know. I got it. It was like 12. I didn't have money for a handle, so put one together. So that's a slot. So at this point, you're probably going to have a lot of filing. Maybe get the Dremel out, finish that off. You can see it needs a little bit of work. Needs a lot of work. But we got a great start. So these holes are all going to be punched up one size. Let's see. It's not the right size. 9/64s, no. 5/32, no. 11/64s. Winner, winner. I still like to use the 1/8 inch in the impact driver because it's quick to put in and to get it started. Now you don't have to worry about centering. Just got to drill the holes. Nope. Alright. So I'm going to finish that off with the file. Might take a little bit of time, so I'll finish that off camera. One big question I want to answer about the polycarbonate sheet. Where do you get it? A lot of people like to do McMaster car. They like to shop online and not ever pick up a finger, or a phone. Places around you use plastic every day. There is plastic supply houses in almost every medium-sized town or more, just like there's metal places. So pick up the phone book or, well, search online for plastic supply. Not McMaster Card, we have Badger Plastics here in town. There is Midland Plastics, that's all over the Midwest, where you can call them up and say, I need some 1/16 inch polycarbonate sheet. They might ask you questions like UV protection, both sides, or something like that. The one thing that you have to remember, though, if you're buying it from them, you have to buy a full sheet of 4 foot by 8 foot. Good news is, it costs only like $80. Get 4 foot by 8 foot. Talk to some other people. They say, oh, I don't need all that. Well, you got plenty of games to build. I actually cut it up in thirds, and me and 2 buddies went in on it. So if any one of us needs to make a plastic, we all have the sheet. I was using it a lot quicker than they have because I've been doing my home brews. But the other thing is, you can put it on top of a tabletop. You can use it for a shield, but it also will roll up into about a 14-inch circle, so you can fit it in any car. It's not like you need a truck to transport it. You don't want a truck, it's too light, it's going to fly out. But keep that in mind. Look for plastics. Search for what Midland Plastics is. See if you can find a similar business in your area. Who knows, might be one just down your street, Jack. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of videos.